जगदीश हरे खड़ी मानसा पिय अच्छी सुहारा सामने निर्मल निर्मल मोती सातन प्यारा सुअमि जग की ज्योति जय 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 जगदीश हरे ओम जय 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 जगदीश हरे जुग जुग तुझी ज्योत जगेशल जुग जुग नंदन लीला पार कल जुग में भी नगारो तुझो सुंदर रूप तुझो तुझो गिरधारी जय 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 जगदीश हरे ओम जय 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 जगदीश हरे अनंत लोकन झारे नारा कर जोड़े कर चरण तुझे अच्छी दिया नूरी रविदासी दर्शन प्यासी तुझो गंगा जल शल रोज पिया जय 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 जगदीश हरे ओम जय 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 जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे ओम जय 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 जगदीश हरे ओम जय 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 जगदीश हरे ओम जय
Nuri Granth, page 641. Achan shal ore. Achan shal ore. Bilbar sade dere. निधर व्या निधो में होड़े सदके आओ सब धेरे अचन शाल ओढ़े झंडे हेठ आया सिकंदे निहारिया पी फेरियों पाया वजन नित नेरे अचन शाल ओढ़े चित्त चोर जाया साह साह समाया पे राह बुझाया दर दर पंथ पेरे अचन शाल ओरे नोरी गोली बानी दर्दन कई दीवानी नैनन वहे पानी मिलन शल सवेरे अचन शाल ओरे दादा श्याम दादा
Krishna Hare Ram Radha Shyam Hare Krishna Hare Ram Radha Shyam Hare Krishna Hare Ram Radha Shyam Hare Krishna Hare Ram Radha Shyam. नंद नंद आनंद नंद नंद गोविंद नंद नंद गोपाला गोपाला नंद नंद आनंद नंद नंद गोविंद नंद नंद गोपाला गोपाला नंद नंद आनंद नंद नंद गोविंद गोपाला गोपाला नंद नंद आनंद
talks to every one of you. Many of you doubtless have heard the name of the great American philosopher William James. One day they put to him a question. They said to him, tell us, what is the greatest discovery of our generation? And in answer, William James said, the greatest discovery of our generation is that by changing one's attitude, one can change one's life. Do you wish to change your life? All you have to do is to change your attitude. Attitudes are such a tremendous force in the life of every individual. And William James spoke out of experience when he said that the greatest discovery of our generation is that by changing one's attitude, one can change one's life. He spoke out of experience. He suffered from acute depression. He did not find life worth living. He even played with the idea of committing suicide. Then one day someone said to him, why don't you try changing your attitude? And William James said to himself, I will try it out for a day. For one day I will see that my attitude is a cheerful one, a constructive one, a positive one, a friendly one. He tried for a day and he found that it made all the difference. And the day came when he could declare to the world that if you want to change your life, all you have to do is to change your attitude. Let me tell you of an experiment which was performed by two scientists in California. They wanted to study if attitudes could influence seeds out of which plants grow. They wanted to study if attitudes could change seeds, affect seeds. Their experiment was a simple one. They took two cans exactly similar to each other, into which they poured soil, the same quantity and the same quality. Into each can, they dropped 23 seeds. They covered the seeds with the same quantity and quality of fertilizer. They kept both the cans in a greenhouse so that they could have similar conditions of weather and temperature. All other things in the experiment were the same. There was only a variable. Every day they came to the greenhouse. They came 3 times to the greenhouse. They came and stood in front of the first can. And into the first can they poured all the negativism of which they were capable. They even insulted the seeds. They said, you are good for nothing. Nothing is ever going to come out of you. You are good for nothing. You are useless. They went and stood in front of the second can 3 times every day. And they poured into the second can all the positivism of which they were capable. You are wonderful seeds, they said. Wonderful things are going to come out of you. It is going to be a sight to see what is going to come out of you. This they did for 2 weeks. And at the close of 2 weeks they found that whereas out of the first can there came forth only 2 or 3 shoots of grass, out of the second can there was a whole stand of grass, so powerful, so strong, that they could hold it and with its strength carry the entire can with all its fertilizer and everything in it. If this is what attitudes can do to seeds, what can it not do to human beings? Attitudes are a tremendous force in the life of every individual. If you want to change your life, all you have to do is to change your attitude. You must always see that your attitude is a friendly one, a constructive one, a positive one. Thank you.
Sarah. Please come. Sabbai, ये छोड़ the chairs.
अबे वही रहो अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा
Kindly be seated at Dada Sham, everyone. Good evening. I would like to extend my warm welcome to all the Bridge Builder members and all the Shevadaris present here. Today we are extremely blessed to be in the presence of our dearest Didi, Krishna Didi, in her first visit to the Karnataka Chennai. Before we get started, I would like to call upon Didi Manju Nachani, Director of Sada Vaswani Institutes of Learning, to say a few words.
Dear Didi Krishna, my fellow colleagues from Pune, the Sevadaris, and of course the Bridge Builders. Thank you for having us here. Today, Dada's talk answered all that I wanted to say. He said, change your attitude and you change your life. And Chennai did exactly that. They had an attitude that they really do. Koi na to achi asi darat ke nyari daim to koi achi. And same Chennai changed his attitude and said, everyone will come here and everybody come here. And I can proudly say that with the blessings of both our masters, Chennai Center has grown from more to more and from strength to strength. And I think there are people who work behind it. We shall thank them all the 3 days because they have done so much that if we thank them for 3 months, it will be less. I won't take names today, but I will take names in due course. But I can tell you, if 5 people, 6 people have changed Chennai, we get to hear what we didn't know about Dada's interactions with various people. I think that was a novel idea. We have the talents, none less than Didi Krishna, whom the Chennai has been persuading since the center has been set up. They had told me when I came first time, please bring Dada. And I told him, and he said, here and there, but that was God's will. Then they told me, bring Didi Krishna. They say that when you want something with passion, when you want something from all your heart, it happens. And I can tell you that this is a first formal trip as a yatra. Chennai can do anything. We have the bridge builders. We have bridge builders, which means that we have a committee and the youngsters, and that bridge has to be built that what they want to do and what you want to do. Let me tell you one thing, that one idea, one word can change. Attitude, change the attitude and the whole world will change. Chennai youngsters, India will be the only country in the world with the youngest population. So all the leaders are going to come from India, and if you think an IIT or an IIM is going to make you a leader, I must tell you that you need spiritual skills to reach there. Seva, Dada always said, and that the youngsters are going to do. The spirit of not only the seva, but also satsang, because today people is moving towards meditation, towards various courses, and youngsters are leading it. So I think Didi Krishna is going to guide you as to how to do it. You can ask her, and she will tell you that you are the hope of India, you are the faith of India, and our committee, I cannot have words to thank them. I think Didi Krishna will do that in due course. But the whole idea of meeting you all in a small group was that you can interact with her personally. A very warm welcome. I represent partly Chennai, so a very, very warm welcome to you on behalf of Chennai. And I thank all of you on behalf of Pune. So it's a good advantage of being all over the place, and I enjoy that space. So may I request you, Didi Krishna. She needs no introduction. You all know her. But you'll know her better when you interact with her. You have heard her every time, but to hear her personally will make a huge difference, because today you can ask her whatever has been running in your mind. So thank you for being with us. It's all yours, Krishna Didi.
चेन्नई साधु वासवानी सेंटर में कठो कयो आहे अचो त प्यारे दादा जा शुक्राना वञो ऐं अवां मां हिक जा शुक्राना जो तव्हां अची असांखे पंहिंजी आसीस ॾिनी आहे. And gratitude is not a word, but I think that is the closest word which we can find for all the committee members of the Sadhu Vaswani Center of Chennai. Mr. Bihari Lal Ahuja, Mr. Hashmat Gwalani, Mr. Mukesh Khubchandani, Mr. Lakshman Bhewani, Mr. Jaykumar Murjani, Mr. Prem Wadhwani, Mr. Naresh Bhairwani, and Mr. Gopal Bhairwani. असी सॼे कमिटी जा तहे शुक्रगुज़ार आहियूं कीअं न प्यारे दादा जो झंडो हिते मद्रास में झूले रहिया आहिनि. असी केतिरनि सेंटर्स में वेंदा आहियूं ऐं ॾिसंदा आहियूं कीअं न केॾे न लगन सां, केॾे न डिवोशन सां, डेडिकेशन सां वो असांजे गुरुदेव जो कमु करे रहिया आहिनि. ऐं जॾहिं हिते मां मद्रास में आयसि त पाण खां पुछो the Madras Center जे कामयाबीअ जो what is the reason of their success. ऐं मूं सम्झो त हर हिकु मेंबर मद्रास सेंटर जो हर हिकु सेवा जा कंदो आहे, उहा कंदो आहे अर्पणम जे भाव में. गुरुदेव अर्पणम, गुरुदेव अर्पणम, गुरुदेव अर्पणम. हर हिकु शेवाधारी जे मन में इहा ई भावना आहे त शल मुंहिंजी हीअ नंढी शेवा असांजे गुरुदेव जे कमल कदमनि में क़बूल पवे. इन करे जेकी कनि था उन में केॾी न सूंह आहे, उन में केॾी न सुगंध आहे. हिकु ॻाल्हि आहे, अवां मां शायदि कंहिं ॿुधी हुजे, अकबर बादशाह जो नालो अवां मां केतिरनि ॿुधो हूंदो. उन जे दरबार में घणेई रत्न हूंदा हुआ, पर हिकु मुख्य रत्न हूंदो हो तानसेन. तव्हां तानसेन जो नालो ॿुधो, हा, जेको ॻाईंदो हो. उनजो ॻाइण ॿुधंदा हुआ माण्हू त जित हूंदा हुआ ॿुध बिही वेंदा हुआ। उनजे ॻाइण में एॾो सोज़ हूंदो हो, एॾो लुत्फ़ हूंदो हो। हिकु ॾींहुं अकबर ॿुधो त तानसेन जो गुरु संत हरिदास उहो त अलाए उनजे ॻाइण में त अलाए अहिड़ी आकर्षक शक्ति आहे जो हिकु बार अवां उनजो ॻाइण ॿुधो त बसि तव्हीं असुल रंगजी पिया। त अकबर बादशाह तानसेन खे चवे थो, बेशक मूं तुंहिंजो ॻाइण ॿुधो आहे ऐं जॾहिं मां ॿुधंदो आहियां आई फील सो इंस्पायर्ड, आई फील सो अपलिफ्टेड, पर मुंहिंजी दिलि आहे त मां हरिदास खे ज़रूरु ॿुधां। महिरबानी करे कृपा करे तूं संत हरिदास खे मुंहिंजे दरबार में घुराए। तॾहिं तानसेन कहिड़ो जवाबु थो ॾे अकबर बादशाह खे, चएसि थो तई बेशक बादशाह आहियो पर मुंहिंजो गुरु हू बादशाह जो बादशाह आहे ऐं हू कॾहिं बि कंहिं बि राजा जे दरबार में कीन ईंदो। पर अकबर चए थो मूंखे हुनजो ॻाइण कीअं बि ॿुधणो आहे। हिकु बार जे राजा जे दिमाग़ में का ॻाल्हि वेठी त जेसि ताईं उहा ॻाल्हि पूरी न थींदी आहे त राजा खे सुख कीन मिलंदो आहे। बसि तानसेन जे पुठियां इहा ई हिकु ॻाल्हि त मूंखे कीअं बि हरिदास जो ॻाइण ॿुधणो आहे। चईंसि भला मूंखे तो वठी हल। चईंसि हलणो त तव्हांखे ई पवंदो पर हिन राजाई लिबास में न, तव्हांखे सिंपल कपिड़ा पाए करे पोइ तव्हांखे हरिदास वटि हलणो पवंदो। राजा चए थो मां कुझु बि करण लाइ तयारु आहियां। चवेसि थो हू रहंदो अथव मथे पहाड़नि में, तव्हांखे पंधु उते हलणो पवंदो, तव्हांजा कैरेजिस तव्हांजा हॉर्सिस तव्हां सां गॾु कीन हलंदा। ही चवे थो मां का बि तकलीफ़ सहण लाइ तयारु आहियां पर मूंखे हिकु दफ़ो रुगो हरिदास जो गीत ॿुधणो आहे। हू अचे थो ऐं जीअं हरिदास जे आस्थान जे वेझो पहुता आहिनि, हरिदास जे ॻाइण जो आवाज़ अकबर जे कन ते पवे थो त अकबर त उते ई बीही वञे थो, उहो हिकु स्टेप अॻियां नथो खणी सघे। तॾहिं तानसेन चएसि थो आहिस्ते आहिस्ते हली, हींअर असीं वेयूं था, हरिदास जो सत्संग हली रहियो आहे ऐं ही सत्संग काफ़ी वक़्तु हलंदो। अकबर बि चपरापोश छो त ऑर्डिनरी कपिड़ा पियल हुअसि, अची वेहे थो ऐं हरिदास खे ॿुधे थो। बसि अकबर जी त सुध बुध खे सभु कुझु विसरी वञे थो ऐं हू बि भक्तीअ में झूमणु शुरू करे थो। ऐं पोइ तानसेन खे चवे थो तानसेन तूं छो थो हरिदास वांगुरु ॻाए सघी, तूं हिन हरिदास खां ई विद्या वरिती आहे, तुंहिंजो आवाज़ तुंहिंजो ॻाइण बेशक सुठो आहे पर हरिदास वांगुरु छो कान्हे। तॾहिं तानसेन कहिड़ो जवाबु ॾेसि थो, चएसि थो छो त मां नौकरी करियां पियो बादशाह जी ऐं हरिदास मुंहिंजो गुरु करे थो नौकरी, ही सिंग्स ओनली टू प्लीज़ बादशाह जो बादशाह, उहो आहे प्रभु। इन करे हुनजे ॻाइण में उहो लुत्फ़ आहे ऐं जेको हू ॻाए थो उहो असांजे दिलियुनि अंदरि खिरी थो वञे। ऐं मां सम्झां थी त मद्रास जो हिकु हिकु कमेटी मेंबर, हिकु हिकु वॉलंटियर उन ई भावना में कमु करे रहियो आहे त जेको बि असीं कमु कयूं प्यारा दादा तो वास्ते तो वास्ते तो वास्ते शल तव्हांजे कमल कदमनि में इहा असांजो नंढो कमु क़बूल पवे। असीं वरी हिकु हिकु कमेटी मेंबर जा, हिकु हिकु ब्रिज बिल्डर जा ऐं हिकु हिकु शेवाधारी जा तहे दिल शुक्रगुज़ार आहियूं। And it's such a joy to meet all of you, the bridge builders, because you are the future of the, not only of the mission, but the future of the world. And it is you who have to carry forward beloved Dada's dream. And beloved Dada always said that strength lies in the youth. His hope was in you. And I'm sure all of you and many, many more, you all will bring in many, many more bridge builders to come and join you all and spread the message of our beloved masters, Sadhu Vaswani and revered Dada J.P. Vaswani. Today, we all are moving in very uncertain times. the markets, financial markets, they are so volatile. I think Madras is a city of bankers also. You all must be knowing how volatile our financial markets are. There is so much of job insecurity. It was just yesterday or day before when someone mentioned to me that one company in New York has laid off 6,000 workers in one day. There is so much of job security. There are so many natural calamities that are taking place. There are floods, there are fires, there are volcanoes, there are earthquakes that cause so much of destruction. And most important, above everything else, we have different variants of the coronavirus which put all of us in fear, in anxiety. And many of us, we seem to ask ourselves, what is life all about? And how can we cope up with life? Life which appears to be full of struggles, full of difficulties. How can we cope up with this life? And I recall an incident from the life of our most beloved Dada. A young girl, she comes to beloved Dada and she says to him, life has been harsh on me. I have no strength. I feel frail. I am weak. Life has been so overwhelming and I cannot cope up with it. And beloved Dada said to her, you are not the weakling that you take yourself to be. Within you lie locked up unlimited powers, unlimited energies of the eternal. If only you will plug into that energy, you will be filled with strength, with courage. And then Dada narrated to her a very touching story. It is the story of a king's son. He was only 3 years old, but this king, he decides that I must send my son to a remote place. He says, if I will bring him up in this palace, he will be used to all the comforts and conveniences of life. He will not know how harsh life can sometimes become. So he sends him to a very remote place. With him, he sends a very mature and stable nurse who can look after the little child because he was only 3 years old. And they go to a very remote village. Over there, this little child grows up, he receives education, and gradually he starts earning his livelihood. Because the king wanted him to rub shoulders with the common man to know how they suffer, how they actually grow up on the ladder of success. Now it so happens that the friends of this prince, one day, they take him to a tavern. And there he drinks, he smokes, and as youngsters are, they get easily sucked into peer pressure. So he keeps on going daily. First it was occasionally, then it becomes frequently, and every night he would return home almost shaking, staggering. And now it has become a habit with him. One night, it's a very cold wintry night, and as he is returning home, he asks himself, is this all to my life? Why do I feel that life has no purpose, life has no meaning? And he says, instead of living this life, it is better that I end my life. He says, when I enter my house, I will take a knife and I will end my life. He's almost fully drunk and he just pushes open the door of the house and he just barges into the kitchen. With a loud noise, the nurse wakes up and she sees the knife in his hand, and immediately she holds his hand and she says to him, if only you knew who you are, you would not do this. If only you knew who you are, you would not do this. And this prince, he asks her, who am I? And she says to him, you are the future king. The moment he hears these words, energy surges into his entire body and he says, I am the future king. What am I doing here? Where is my kingdom? Take me back to my kingdom. And beloved Dada said to this girl, you have forgotten that you too are a princess because you are a child of God, and within you lie unlimited powers of the Spirit. If only you will plug into them, then you can make the impossible possible. We all wonder, but today we all turn to the mobile phone for everything. Whether it is entertainment, whether it is shopping, ordering food, even for knowledge today, especially because of this coronavirus, so many children, they had to be dependent on the mobile for their education. For everything, we turn to the mobile. We have Google Maps, but to use the mobile, we need to charge it. Otherwise, it is just an inanimate object. Similarly, beloved Dada said that we have been given this precious human birth, and within our hearts resides God Himself. If only we will plug into His power, if every day we charge ourselves, then we can do anything. No difficulty, no danger, no obstacle can stop us. All we need to do is to plug into the reservoir that is within each and every one of us. Let us try, all of us, to do that. Therefore, every day, let us try to spend a few minutes in silence. Beloved Dada would tell us just for 15 minutes every morning. The first thing we must do is to just spend 15 minutes thinking of the bounties of God. There is so much that God has given each and every one of us. If only we can count our blessings. And 15 minutes, they just pass by so soon. 15 minutes, if we can count our blessings, give our gratitude to God. There are so many things which we have, which others don't have. Instead of complaining, if we can count our blessings, and if we accept whatever God wills for us, knowing that there is a hidden good in everything that happens, and if we extend our helping hand to all those who need, we will surely be charging ourselves, and we will be ready to face the trials and tribulations which life has to offer us.
Now it's all yours, the young team, the young Turks as we would call you. Tell us tell Didi how you're going to take the bridge builders forward and how you're going to be the part of the larger committee, and she will tell you how to go about it. And committee के भी interact करना मुझे the दान है opportunity. I know a lot of questions are going in your mind. Start somewhere. Once they start, you won't stop. That also.
I would like to say something. From the Upadesh that we heard just now from below DD, I would say that all of us present here, we are charged from this moment for the lifetime. And as Didi said, it is a reservoir, it's unlimited reservoir, and we are charged from this moment. Thank you.
Okay, tell us the activities.
Yeah, I was just going to have a-
We'll move from there. Actually, you lead.
How often do you all meet? What do you all do?
Maybe for Corona, 1 year
Yes, naturally.
we didn't meet, but now for Vedada's birthday we started Sevas.
where do you see bridge builders in 22? And how many more members are you going to have? And how are you going to get there? You see, I think Neely would tell you that if each one of you brings just one friend, just one, if you're 10, you become 20 automatically. And I think each one of you has a best friend. If you can go for a movie, you could go to a restaurant, why can't you? And you know what? We don't need you to do 24/7 bridge builders, no? We want you to work. But with that work, in your priority list, add some work. How many of bridge builders are here? Let's see the bridge builders. Gautam, I thought you were a bridge builder. I'm sure. Kishan and all of you are so young. There is no age for building bridges, huh? Age for building walls. That you must never build. But bridges you all must build. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Put up your hands, no, let us. Why don't you introduce yourselves and to Didi and let's know what you are doing, what is your vision and how do you wish to go forward. Because they said that bridge builders के मिलने में आई थी तेरे ऐसी दीदी के पास पति आया थे ये चुप करे बिना तो नहीं गए जरूरी नहीं था खाली ब्रिज बिल्डर ना तई भी चाहिए सबको जो तो उम्र मेंटल आए तई पार के निकल 16 साल सामने ना बने 7 साल जाऊंगा कभी नहीं कम करे सकेगा करता ना सबे.
You also started a few Shevas, Didi. You started Gau Mata Sheva, medical Shevas.
Tell us no what you have.
Blessings of Dada, we have started 4 Shevas. One we are giving Ration Seva. Every last month of Ration Seva for around 60 families we are giving. And for Diwali also we have given very big Ration Seva as a Diwali activity. Then we do Gau Mata Seva every first Sunday of every month. First Sunday of every month Gau Mata Seva. And third we do is education, Vidyadhan. We are taking our students who require their education. Then we thought until जितने साल उनको पढ़ना है, so we are trying to support them as maximum as whatever the full fees they require. It's not a half amount and then they should again try somewhere else. Whatever the fees they wanted for their support for their education, we are trying to meet the needs. And again we have one more this medical Seva. Those persons who have senior citizens, especially people. So anything they want, any medical Seva, they are trying to bring in and give them some medicines for them. And they are planning to have doctors here, take their treatment and what medicines they want. We are wanting to get them to sit here, get medicines from nearby pharmacy and try and give to them and go. We don't want them to come again and worry that for medicines they should come back again to us and pay for medicine. Doctor, we are trying to plan here to have a doctor here. You can see that what is the medications required, buy the medicines and give it to them. So these 4 Shevas we are trying.
Those poor people, they are all Sindhis.
Actually, what has happened is some of them are 75% are Sindhis, but some of their husbands Tamil and Telugu, but wives are
Poor and
Sindhis.
Sindhi. Poor.
Their husbands they can Sindhi and Telugu. Less privileged, but they are Sindhi and their wife Tamil. But they are basically Sindhi. Inter-caste marriages, but mostly we try to help more of Sindhis. We try to help.
This is just a beginning.
Yes.
Just a
You
beginning.
have to train us.
For everything there has to be a beginning. If the bridge builders, you all can try and do at least once a month satsang. You know, once a month you all start only with once a month, like a kirtan satsang, so that bridge builders feel more drawn to kirtan and make it interesting.
And we are doing every week online satsang.
Yes.
And now we have started every Tuesdays satsang here live.
Yes, like
That has been started.
very good.
And full back team, full support is all these people.
Yes.
We are all friends of people who are back bench are all these people who are yes and we are able to do all
Yes,
this.
yes.
That is Corona 300, 400 people. This is a small place. Minimum 300. That's why when we started looking for other places, our vision is just to be like something at least 10% of Pune. Whenever you come there,
When are you buying a new plot?
that's what we already started looking for. But again, this Corona came again, we have stopped. Again, we start looking for it. Because whenever we had youth programs, we were getting people up to 300. And we had the good singers, Neil and all that. The strength goes 300. This capacity is only 150.
Armchairs, 150, we are putting armless chair here. Everybody is able to
Very good.
Yeah.
armless chair, we get from outside.
Yeah.
I know big programs when we used to go up to 400 also in such a small place.
But during this COVID time, we all sectors, all religious places, all closed down. But with Dada's grace, in spite of this COVID, we did so many sevas that all of us started. We became an example for all other centers, all other religious places. We had contacted all the 65 families whom we used to do ration. Individually, we called them up and we took their bank accounts. We did transfers. We didn't want them to come here in Corona period. We did money transfers in their accounts that sitting at home they can get the money from us. So after seeing us, then everybody stopped ration and everybody started transferring money. Then they were asking how you are trying to able to do this. I said, all we are going to call magnetizers from other organizations.
Yeah, we started from nowhere, but other institutions have taken us as business partners. They have started doing so many things. After we have come.
And every satsang we used to have prasadam. Initially, this is the first concept of in Chennai, Sadhu Vaswani Center is the one. Satsang ke baad, prasad we used to serve. We had lot of difficulties, but lot of efforts were there. And this team used to, really they used to back us. करो आसान बैठे होता है कुछ यार पर दीदी जितने भी आस्थान हो या संतवाद दीदी सब 3-6 महीने का वो सभी हिंदुस्तान में ये थी हो भाई सत्संग थी तो वासवानी वाला थी तो सब बंदा रो रखा था सब मन असमान के यो थी असम पर एक्चुअली लास्ट आने शुरू किया असम का सब कभी बना तो असम के किसी भी वो सब बंदा रो शुरू किया ऐसा बंदा रो करना का वो नया बयान करना कपे बंदा रो
पता इतनी बड़ी सेवा नहीं है जो सभी की खबर मुझे ना मुझे जो हर सैटरडे जेका सत्संग ताम कयो है विद ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड दादा जा जेके डिवोटीज के हिता पकड़े दादा जा मिरेकल्स ता जेका एग्जिबिट किया है वो धन्यवाद है ता
Credit goes to Jay Kumar.
मानो की होते खबर पई है कि दादा केडी बड़ी शक्ति जिन मानो के खबर कान हुई एक्सपीरियंसेस बुद्धि करे असा के फॉरेन में फोन आया है मुख्य पब्लिशिंग डिपार्टमेंट है उनका फोन आया हुआ है तो ही जेतरा भी मिरेकल्स बुधाया गया है डिफरेंट उन्हें जो किताब पढ़ दे बिकॉज़ वी डिडंट नो दादा इतरो बड़ी सेवा चेन्नई सेंटर जो थ्रू थी है
डॉक्यूमेंट तक गए
या
you know well किताब ना करो पर ऑनलाइन वीडियो
I think all is on YouTube.
everything will be at Facebook में
Everything is on. जिन मानो जैसे सुनियानो भी गाना उन्हें की इन्हें कांटेक्ट करे ऑन द स्क्रीन पे और वो भी दादा जी बारे में जेतियों गालियों इतना मिरेकल्स
It's been a one-man show. That particular department single-handedly is done.
Thank you.
All along, Didi, we have to motivate the bridge builders. All along, we've been outsourcing singers till now. There is no in-house singers at all.
singers.
Though all our singers
different singers था अच्छा
sound to the army को in-house में we have to tap the talent here.
सब लेडी गायन था
बाकी लेडी गायन है पर
क्या है ये डांस सब है
राक्षस in very good version
अच्छा and all what about other girls
So
somebody has to just
tomorrow evening will all come
pick
here for
up.
the satsang.
You all should start, some music class or something so that you all pick up, you all learn. There must be so many youngsters who know music, so many.
Maybe actually when we started this online, none of us, our committee members even know how to operate a computer.
Yes,
मैंने हमारे को फोन करता है डाउनलोड करके दो ये हम तो समझ जाते हैं हम तो
when we started the idea, I told him, how can we do? We don't know anything about computer. How are you putting this idea to our back? We cannot do this. And he said, no, we can do.
जवाहर कोटवानी पिताजी थी वह ये टेक्निक तो समझे तो पूरी या पिंपरी जो है जो ना ये चेन्नई में कड़े आया वो जब तो भाव मार चेन्नई
But one thing दीदी one small I think is मतलब थोड़ा प्रोग्राम्स में वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा है पर दीदी उसका जो भाव है और उसका जो भक्ति है और जो उसका जो
किरण भी बहुत अच्छा है।
हाँ very good very
बहुत
good very good very good Kiran is very good and she is also willing जब भी फोन करते हैं दोनों बताता है anytime सेवा you can definitely do any सेवा बताता है
We know very well, Katie, you are very indisciplined in time management. I know every time you tell us, but you are not able to, you must let us know that we maintain that. Some grace has to come from you. We are trying to do it, but somehow we are not able to balance it out.
You will have to see how many bhajans, how much a person can talk. Once you time it, it will happen. Otherwise, people love to.
But really what is happening is really अभी जैसे हम यहाँ पे प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं जब 20 minutes then the singer knows I'm doing 20 minutes but online what happens is that we are giving them 20 minutes now
And it is all like.
Singer doesn't go, Jawar will tell. Jawar, एक और सुनाओ, अभी ये last कोई कहा, आपने हमको दूसरी दुनिया में ले गए, अभी एक और दूसरी दुनिया से go on.
Because there we
So
get.
I think, what happens is that there are too many satsang. And your satsang also is with the same time when our satsang goes on. So like, you will have to.
And Dada's Upadesh
Not
is
more
at
than
the
one
end,
and a
no?
half.
Dada's Upadesh is at the end. So people
And
should
then
hear
you
that.
leave the, without you, and for us, we all are there only for Dada. And for us, our greatest reverence, respect, if anybody puts off the video at the time when Dada talks, we don't like it. I mean, I'm sure you all don't like it, but it's helplessness because people, you have to see the people's this also. No? But if it is script, or change it in such a way that you'll put Dada's Upadesh first, somewhere in the beginning or middle, so that afterwards, when the singer get through we don't mind.
Is that allowed? But we think Dada Sudesh only should be then, that's where we are.
Is it allowed?
I know.
Is it allowed to put Dada's Upadesh?
Why not? At least people will
No,
hear.
no, people should hear, know how we Dada told us.
सिंगर का हिस्सो भजन कराए
Yeah, so we,
ये पूरो करे
so you all can read.
अगेन सिंगर चलेगी
Yeah, if it is allowed, we can work on.
after one bhajan
Yeah.
we can do the other things and then
No,
again
we
can
call
give-
the speaker also, not to give the
yeah,
experience.
so after one bhajan the speaker can give an experience and then Dada's Upadesh and then again the singer can continue and while people are moving about in the house or doing other things they can hear to singing but to hear to Upadesh you need focus बाकी गायन तो हले क्यों है कहीं कुछ कम आए कुछ तो ठीक है
yeah apologize
ना apologize
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, wonderful job, wonderful.
Didi, we are only 3 or 4 years older than you.
no
So बच्चे
Very
करते हैं
good.
तो small बच्चे
Done
you
very
will
good.
get
Yeah,
But is it
yeah.
allowed, Didi, to do that Upadesh in the middle and then?
So Chennai, yes. And let us try it out and see. We all will come to know if the viewership is more in that. Because you all are the. But Krishan, like YouTube, the people are watching even after 2 to 3 days. They say it is on YouTube. Asi koi disappear watch.
But on live we are having 230 to 40 to 50
Yes.
people. But Didi, when night we see 600, 700.
Yeah.
Next day morning we see
It
again
with the 1,000.
1,000,
100.
100.
Because everyone has time.
Yeah.
But really, I really like your idea. One vision by the singer and then the other. And then the other. I think that's
Yeah. We can try and see.
We
We
can
can try.
Because you never seen that thing happening anywhere. But this is first time you because, right?
And Nana को अपना payment तो बजट का पे हो
So we have.
No, we take around 16, 17, 18
Yeah.
minutes before we roughly
20 minutes minimum. They also take recommendations from you're taking from YouTube.
Yes, no, we are trying to get from Ashok Bachchani, he downloads for us from YouTube.
PR the plan, we need one PR.
From YouTube, all are taking, all the whole world is taking from YouTube, because we are giving new Upadeshas, all are going into the YouTube, and from YouTube everybody is taking.
Ashok Bakshani and
Suresh from Parvani.
supplies them.
But we can call Priya Devi also and get.
Yeah, you can call her, that is. But
No, I did not know
Ashok
they get from
Bakshani,
you. I
I
thought
thought
you're getting from her.
no, Ashok
No,
Bakshani and Suresh,
Oh, I didn't know.
All centers are doing no. 2-3 every week, one day, every day somebody or the other is doing the.
तो YouTube पे सब दादा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन I uploaded. अब सब JK we play every Thursday. We play on 12. हाँ.
Yeah, whatever has been paid already.
Whatever has been, suppose now Bombay Center plays an occupations already there on YouTube. Okay. Now so many they have played in 1 year. So all those 1 year थोड़ी बस आ गए 1 year. 1.5 year का हाल है ना. I don't know गाने about doing well. पर ताके live satsang they were emphasis
हाँ.
पेजिया ताक चाहिए ना. The singing plays a very important.
Actually, दीदी उन्हें एक पूरी फेस्टिवल है जैसा मीटिंग है ना दीदी असां ये थोरो वधी के करूं था 100-200 माण्हुनि खे वरी तो सोसाइटी खे उहो ई बड़ी तकलीफ़ थियणी शुरू करे भई 100 माण्हुनि खे तव्हां घुराए अथव तव्हांजे लाइ असांखे तकलीफ़ न थिए तो वी आर गोइंग लिटिल स्लो ऑन दैट इज बिकॉज़ वी आर फियर भई असांजी
पर
इंडिपेंडेंट
100-200 में भी singing जे लाइ त खपनि न singers. Singer खपनि न. माना असांजा singers हुजनि. केलो तरी चओ
दादा जा भजन आहिनि
हाँ दादा जनी.
You have to push somebody and motivate somebody so that we have the in-house singers. You always have to outsource all along.
न इन हाउस ही आइन 4 छोकरियों तो नजर थी वजन.
सारे घर में काम कैसे our family itself.
पंज.
Five.
एक साथ चलो
You have to give them the
Singer is Anjana.
These ladies you must be knowing Anjana can sing, you know, you please draw them. See, I don't start learning. दादा जब बने.
Yeah, he sings very well. Gopal.
Best singer.
असांजी सेवादारनि मां कंहिंखे कुझु चवणो हुजे त छो त ही मूंखे आहिनि पर सॼो कमु तॾहिं हिकु जहिड़ी टीम हूंदी आहे ऐं उहा टीम कई आहियो तव्हां मां कंहिंखे कुझु चवणो हुजे कुझु शेयर करणो हुजे पुछणो हुजे
कंटियल आयो पर दीदी चलता तांब भजन गाना शुरू
कोई कुछ चवणो हुजे वो
एतिरो कमु कयो था तव्हांखे कुझु चवणो हुजे जी Yeah, not everyone is doing dadas.
Yeah, happy.
She has a good voice.
Yes,
Very nice.
he sings lot of bhajans. He
Yeah.
sings. Rajni Mata ji. She sings bhajans.
Whatever Bhava and all are doing is great, Didi. It's really appreciate. Yeah, I'm so happy. Yeah. But only one more thing I want to say, like when we do the satsang in center, no live, I prefer like the dadas they should be the last.
Yeah, in the center it will be last.
We want
Center should be last.
Last.
So good people.
Yes, so this is only for online.
It's only for online.
Yes, yeah. Center should always be last. Yes.
In these public programs also should be last.
Yes, I limit. Okay, it's a limit now. They have to.
Yes, yes.
We have to put the dadas there. So I think preferably better than.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Live and all should be in there.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes,
necessary.
yes.
How do we expand PPC? How do we rope in more of youth?
Yeah, youth can come more and sing also.
Yeah,
Once
by
I once
start
see
some
how it is.
activities, no, like one you're saying seva, and then you can come up with some creative ideas, some workshops you all can organize amongst yourselves.
Santosh, you could tell Didi about something, what we did.
I think I did send a report.
Yeah, but tell
Just before COVID, what we did was, we thought the one way to get the youngsters and the youth in, we identified this restaurant Sante. We have it in Pune.
it's pure vegetarian. And I started working out with this fitness group called F45. They're an Australian team. So managed to tie up with them to come do a session at Sante. So they had something to come to. It was a workout followed by like a little thing on vegetarianism, like we played Dada's Upadesh, and we had a very, very wholesome, healthy breakfast, like a 5-6 course meal. People obviously paid for their tickets, and all proceeds went to charity, like minus what was spent at the event, like for the food. And that was really good. The turnout, it was a full house, and 3 or 4 people actually came and told us that, wow, that speech really inspired us. I've been wanting to go vegetarian. I'm going to try once again. So we said, okay, it was good.
So you all can plan some different activities every month, like once a month.
But this
Or every alternate month. And once a month you all do kirtan and something at the center.
Yeah, you youngster can come at least once in a month.
Yes, once a month they should
How we
conduct
we
the
have a
satsang.
normal every week we have no?
Actually, I think every Tuesdays we are doing a meeting. One Tuesdays we can fix for youngsters.
Yes, for youngsters.
Like 4 satsang we are doing one satsang, any satsang, first Tuesday, second Tuesday, third satsang by youngsters.
Yeah, whatever one.
But we don't have
And you all can
seniors.
even do Gurukul classes, no, for children. Very Kandavana Madras Center.
Yes, I used to teach
Teacher,
Yeah, I
every
used to teach crochet.
Asha, na?
Payal.
Asha, Mama,
Yes, many years back I used to teach Gurbani.
Yeah.
I used to do the Bharatataja. Bharatataja.
कोई ना तो टीचर भी ऐसे कहते था भाई सब सब नाचो सिंधी से करा जाओ और कोई अच्छी
सिंधी से खरीदना
ये असानी सिंधी न था गाइस और ऐसा उन्हें
Certificate in English में दिया.
But COVID has been a bit tricky, like I don't know if it's actual fear or people genuinely, are they genuinely scared, or has it become an excuse now for people to not show up? So even our on-ground sevas, the last 3 months we've managed to do like one activity a month. We're like 2-3 people going, but we're like, okay, let's just still do it. We're not scared now. Whatever happens, happens. But we're not able to.
Actually, it's true. People have got used to now
Correct.
the lifestyle.
So I don't know how to break it. Now there's this new strain. So with the new strain again, Omicron, everybody's like, what's going on? Let's be safe. Let's not do this. Or it's, I don't know, selective, or it's an excuse, or it's genuine fear. We can't tell, but not sure how to get people back into the groove of things anymore. That's kind of challenging.
We have to keep doing our activities slowly.
Yeah.
Bangalore bridge builders are quite stronger, I think. Something has to come.
But they've also been dormant for a year. And also told me Pune's been dormant again.
Yeah.
Very dormant. It's like COVID year has just been quite flat.
Bridge builders in Bangalore, I think, are more active, I think.
Even during that corona, we partnered with a foundation that was feeding the poor. So we sent them funds and then they were feeding 400 people. So that part also we continued doing it every month. But now we have to go back to ourselves doing it.
But in Pune, our Gurukul is still doing very well.
The kids are coming.
Teach them Sindhi, and because we have children belonging to all communities.
But it's happening like at the mission, or it's like the online
now,
one,
now
right?
it's online.
It's like Accra, Pune,
But our
Bangalore.
music classes are live.
Okay.
We have 20 children for our music class coming twice a week. Because we can't take more.
Correct.
Really, while doing this online classes, we learned a lot of new things. For us itself, we had a lot of new experiences. One thing we also came to know is that Dada so great. Asan jite bhi dasi, we had actually gone from Reading to Bangalore. Then we said, okay, we had a chance to get a link with CC Ravi Shankar there. So we took a chance, we go there.
Yeah.
we read them
And the person who took us, he was telling us, don't go close to him, don't talk to him, just have his darshan, come back. I told him, no, leave 1 minute, since we have gone nearby, and Then I told him, I want to speak to you for 1 minute. He said, you I said, Gurudev, I want one video from you. We have Big Dada's birthday on November 25th, and humble request to you. I know it. Immediately his reaction was so spontaneous. I know it is the 25th November. We need one small video from you. मैंने कहा सेवा देने का ये सौभाग्य आपने मेरे को दिया. Immediately he called the secretary. इनका नंबर लो, इनका मेल आईडी लो, और see to that he asked me when is the video you require. I told him we need in 4-5 days. Before that I see to that it reaches him. After the video, the correspondence came from there saying no. When is Dada's birthday? When you going to show? When? What's the time you want it? मतलब उनको इतना ये हो गया कि फिर भेजना करके. Then again I spoke to sister Brahma Kumar, Shivani sister. So she told me not worry. I sent a message for Dada. I will definitely do for Vasani.
और कहीं भी उन्होंने वो 25 नवंबर नहीं बोला.
हाँ. She told us vegetarian.
वासवानी का नाम भी नहीं बोला.
हाँ. She told vegetarianism, but she agreed for giving me a special video for Vasani.
We met Shri in Pune, and I took our Naresh. He's a PRO. So I introduced him as a PRO of the Sadhu Vaswani. He said, I am also your PRO. I just did a video for you.
Yeah, he was in
Pune. We met.
I sent her the message.
Yeah, you sent and then.
Mukesh.
What is his name? Vatwa?
Mukesh Vatwa.
Followed me like
Hira sent us. Hira, Rufani.
But we didn't go to Hira.
Mukesh Vatwa.
He called me up and said, go. And then he connected me to somebody. But they were very keen that we go, let me tell you. And they really, into the organization, come out so cheap.
Well,
Very well.
and when we were talking to him, no, the पीछे दो तीन जने सिंधी खड़े थे. They were telling him, कहाँ सिंधी है? मैं कहा कहाँ के माँ पुणे में आया. तो वासवानी पार्टी में खबर है. I was a Shevadari here. Then he told me, Rajesh, you have my card. Anytime you want to come here and anytime, any coordination you want, you tell me. I will help you there also. So don't worry. And even Gurudev likes this करके. And whenever we talk to the singers, so over there they tell me that we have to take permission from Gurudev that we are going to Vaswani's page. So over there they normally don't allow at all. They tell us not to coordinate and don't speak to others also. But they say whenever we ask for Sadhu Vaswani, immediately we get permission. नहीं आप बोले गाओ उनका ऐसा आश्रम के लिए आप गाओ करें. No, we have no objection.
Now if there is anything, final word, whichever of the bridge builders last chance.
Okay, I just.
Lata, you want to say something?
Yeah.
It will be very keen.
Okay, Didi, I wanted your view. So I think when we did the Sante Seva, I think the elders and the youngsters, it was a very good success Seva. Probably, I think, what we spent on the hotel and Sajjo on the restaurant, we spent 1,000 rupees. But overall, we probably make 200 rupees per person. So there were youngsters who felt like, listen, why should I spend 1,000 rupees for a breakfast or for whatever? When you're already saving 200 rupees to really contribute, or 200 rupees only would have gone for a seva. So I'd rather have a breakfast at a cheaper hotel. I mean, you have these.
The whole money
Yeah.
towards seva.
So people felt that we rather contribute the whole money towards seva. But then to make it interesting, you need to do activities. So sometimes how do you answer to some people like that? If they come and say, listen, how do you tackle that?
You have to tell them, no, this is our activity, and those who are willing to join,
Because they say, why should we
not
spend?
you're not forcing them to join.
Because they feel that Chennai South Indian breakfast is much cheaper. Why should we
That way
do
there will be
this?
so
So there will be
many
different
views.
views.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There will be, you listen to everybody. You want
so
to
we have these views as well, which came across.
But as long as you get a good response and your work is going forward, you can go ahead.
We've
And our
done.
intention has to be pure.
Correct.
That is what counts.
So we definitely made money and on the whole Seva, and I think a lot of the elders with them.
But something we should do to keep our connection to those people who came.
Because there are a lot of non-singing
Make a
youngsters.
WhatsApp group or connect them with Simply Love so that they get a thought every day. So gradually then they will get drawn to the ideals of the mission.
Because
You have
youngsters
called
today
them once,
want.
that's very good. But again, we have to.
No, I
keep
think
on
the youngsters
connecting.
want activity. They
Yeah.
want I mean, sometimes they're not really interested to do shave. Like,
Yes,
they want,
yes. That's
to
why
be
I
honest,
said once a month you must come up with something creative.
I mean, I think
Sometimes a
they want
workshop,
that, yeah.
sometimes.
More interesting.
Yeah.
Because we've done different shavas, like sometimes giving idli packets on the road at 9 o'clock in the night. We go in 2 cars, we, whoever's awake.
You can do one day a talent amongst youngsters only, like a talent hunt or something, just amongst the youths themselves.
But how do we get more people? Like, just as in, like some people, like there was a time when we had about 20-25 people, and some of them got married, young kids, they find it difficult to come. Then the group becomes smaller. Then there's a new group. Then
we have to keep on doing activities, otherwise people don't want to.
They're not interested.
Yeah.
And is it like that we should only target Sindhis?
No, not at all. In fact, yes.
They can also join.
South Indians, they are more inclined to these things.
But our thinking is we want only Sindhis.
No.
Then we can be the expert.
It's like that only, no? We think we want only Sindhis.
We have so much material in English, you all can easily expand.
Yeah, but Shiva, more the merrier.
Correct.
No, Seva, no. He's talking about bridge builders, right?
Yeah,
He's talking about bridge builders.
Generally, we are doing. But there's also, we can, non-Sindhis also.
Can see Seva.
General Shiva.
Seva. But first we must see that we tap our Sindhis. They should not be neglected because every community, they look after their community members first. So not that Sindhi should have nobody to look after them. So first our duty is towards our community, but we can, we must. Other people are helping. Sindhi can help continue. But in bridge builders, you all can take members of every community. And actually, if you try to make Gurukul interesting, if you all take the syllabus either from Bangalore or from Pune, because once children come out, then they grow up, then they can become bridge builders again. So we can tap children, it will be really good. A group of 15, 20 children also. And their classes should be conducted by bridge builders, not by seniors. Because they make it interesting, the bridge builders. So that can be an activity for the bridge builders to conduct children's classes.
We have a WhatsApp group amongst ourselves, and sometimes, of course, sometimes no one replies, everyone's busy with their own thing. Of course, these things happen. I've always felt that if someone has to do a Shiva, you should not be forced.
Yes.
It has to come from within.
But we can just encourage each other.
Correct, yeah.
Because everybody is very busy with their life nowadays, so they need constant reminders.
Now that you have come, Didi, you are still motivated now. We go places.
Battery is fully charged.
It's the biggest organization in Chennai. We go twice per month.
We come to learn from you.
It's all Dada's based on blessings and guidance. Ways not
सब काम हो रहा है, करते हो तुम प्रभु जी, मेरा नाम हो रहा है, दादा तेरी
अरे साला भड़क गया वैसे क्या खाना
अमित
बंद कर रहे ना
बोल दिया क्या?